the last hour of the day is more important than any other hour, I would suggest, because you're planning the next day. Today started yesterday. Welcome back to another episode of Thrive Mode Radio. And in this episode, I'm going to teach you how to be the architect and not the laborer of your life. There's too many people waking up each day like the squirrel chasing the nut, just going from tree to tree, very reactive to their environment, like the head's chopped off. And then at the end of the day, what happened today? How did I not get anything done? All the things I said I was going to do, I didn't do. And that's how you live an unfulfilling life. So I'm going to share the strategies, the tactics, the mindset so that you can dominate your days, so you can live a life by design. If you don't know who I am, I'm Marcus MacKay. I'm the founder of M Perform, and we help our clients go from survival mode to thrive mode. 10 years ago, I was riddled with anxiety, had a horrible panic disorder, which made me depressed. I was overweight. I'd stopped exercising from being an athlete. I hated the way I looked. I hated the way I felt. And so over the last 10 years, I've learned the tactics and strategies, and I've learned from some of the best coaches and performance and health optimizers in the world, so that I can share that with you, so that you can thrive, so that you can feel good, so you can look good, because I hated being in survival mode. And most of the world is. So let's get into the content today. So when you think about being an architect, you got to think about, what are the tools you have? What do you have access to? I got to build this thing. What do I have access to? So we all have access to time, and we all have access to the same amount of time. Whether you're Elon Musk, whether you're in high school, regardless of who you are, you have the same 168 hours a week. You sleep about 55 hours a week. It's about 7-8 hours a night. And then you work about 40 hours a week. That's the standard North American. Okay. So if you're quick at math, you realize how much time you have left. Right? 168 minus 55 minus 40 is 73 hours. That's 73 hours to take care of yourself, take care of your health, spend time with people you care about, do hobbies, do things that are actually enriching and fulfilling and inspiring. So when people say I don't have time, there's a little bit of a twinge that goes off in my brain, because they just don't know the strategies and tactics so that they can optimize their days. Because when someone says I don't have time, it means it's not a priority, because we make the time for the things that matter to us. Okay. So now that we understand time, how can we optimize it? Right? How can I get you more time back? Would that be something you're interested in? So one of the best books I've read when it comes to entrepreneurship and time management is called The Perfect Week Formula by Craig Ballantyne. And he has a model that's called ADE. And so what can you automate? What can you delegate? And what can you eliminate? So when it comes to automating, there's so many things we can automate in our life to get time back. Whether it's we're automating bill payments, what are the things that you're manually paying that you can set up on subscriptions? That's going to save you a ton of time. Maybe it's emails. You have all these different templates of email responses. Build it once. That's the architect. Build it once. Instead of writing new emails every single time saying the exact same shit you wrote to the exact same email last time. Maybe it's automating meal delivery. When things get really full in my life, I don't say the word busy. You notice that? I say the word full, because everybody's fucking busy. Right? I have full days, right? Because they're productive. Busy days is, the bees are busy. Bullshit. Okay. So maybe I'm automating meal delivery so that automatically every Sunday my meals show up for the week. That would probably be really helpful for a lot of people, right? With their busy lives. The next thing is delegating. You got to do what you do best and delegate the rest. So all the roles or all the hats you wear in your life, whether you're father or mother, okay, what are all your roles, responsibilities as those? What can you delegate? If you don't want to cut your lawn every weekend or every other weekend in the summer, Why don't you find, someone who, like for me, for instance, if I didn't want to cut my lawn, I would find that the kid who's saving up for university, and I'd rather pay him to do it, who might do a better job, maybe not, but I'm helping him pay his tuition. And number two, I'm getting my time back. All right. So you got to think about it this way. What can you delegate? Well, I talked about meal prep. What can you delegate? Maybe you're delegating your health and wellness. Maybe you're delegating someone to write your programming, to hold you accountable. Maybe you're delegating in your business the things that you shouldn't be doing, right? You're not working in your zone of genius. You got to delegate the stuff that someone else can do. The E is the enemy. No, it's the elimination of things that are holding you back. What can you eliminate in your life? Is it scrolling? Is it procrastinating? All the activities that aren't driving you forward and helping you build or designing this life of your dreams, what can you eliminate? All right, so automate, delegate, and eliminate. The next thing I want to talk about, which had a huge impact on my life and other high-performing people I work with, is scripting your days. The last hour of the day is more important than any other hour, I would suggest, because you're planning the next day. Today started yesterday. So in 30-minute increments, what are you doing at each hour of the day or each 30 minutes the next day? What tasks are you specifically working on? What are your big rocks? When are you training? When are you eating? Everything in very granular detail. And people are like, oh, that's crazy structure. Good. Because then you don't have to think about it. You don't have decision fatigue. Do you have your gym clothes set out from the night before? You got to make your days easy on you. When you roll into a day that's completely mapped out with all the big rocks that you need to take care of that are important to you, you have a sense of peace. You have a sense of, I'm ready. And once you start to nail those things, all of a sudden at the end of the day, you're like, man, today was awesome. Why was that? Because I was properly structured. And people are like, oh, but I don't like that. So I like to go and just wing it. Well, winging it has got you to where you are. So I want you to try this structure. So there's a study that looked at kids in the playground, and kids who were given structure, right, who were given a fenced in area, they played all around the playground. They played all the way to the edges of the fence. But when that fence was removed, the children, they came to the middle. They weren't willing to explore. They weren't willing to venture off. So when we know our structure, when we know our constraints, we work a lot better. All right. So true structure creates true freedom. The way you're going to structure your day is habits that happen within the first 8-hour block of you waking up are going to be super important. So let's say you wake up at 6 a.m. Between 6 a.m. and 2 p.m., those are your big rock times. Those are likely your time of genius. So that's when you would schedule your exercise, your deep work. Deep work is life-changing work. It's different than shallow work. You would schedule potentially meetings, important, maybe you do sales calls, whatever it is. Maybe you have important documents to write. Those would likely happen in the first 8 hours. That's how I would do it. When it comes to later mid-afternoon, that's when you would work on administration, easy stuff, scheduling, that kind of stuff. And then in the evening, you want to move from deep work to deep love. And when I talk about deep love, I'm talking about connecting with others. I'm talking about, connecting with, like, maybe you have love for sports or anything like that, or hobbies, things to look forward to at the end of the day. And then, of course, we need to wrap up our day and plan for the next day. So I hope this podcast was helpful. Remember, we got to understand how much time we have in a week, how much time we have left in this life, right? Memento mori. You only have one life. Every day is ticking. What can you automate, delegate, and eliminate to have more time to do the things you love? And true structure creates true freedom. Anyways, I hope this podcast was helpful, and I hope you dominate your days. Till next time.